we just had one of the weirdest casting announcements for the Harry Potter HBO TV series, and it really blew me away. I'm a little late to the party with this story, but I had to cover it on my channel because it is just so strange, and I'm not actually sure how I feel about it yet. The news is that Warwick Davis will play Professor Flitwick in the upcoming HBO Harry Potter TV series. And maybe some of you are like, who's that? But this is the thing. Warwick Davis already played Professor Flitwick in the Harry Potter movies. All of them, in fact. So the fact that he's back and returning as the same character is really interesting to me. I really want to break this down because, as I said, I'm still not 100% sure of what I think about this. It's really throwing me off, and I think it's a really interesting look at maybe the casting philosophy behind this show. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel for more Harry Potter news and pop culture news. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Let's do it. Okay, so for the last few weeks, I have been away on a holiday, so I haven't been able to cover any of the news that's come out, which is why I am a little bit late to this story. So here I was minding my own business, going through South Korea on a fantastic holiday, only to see this news that Warwick Davis has been, I guess, recast as Professor Flitwick in the Harry Potter series, which again is so interesting to me. Warwick Davis was in his 30s back in 2001 when he first appeared as Professor Flitwick, the charms professor at Hogwarts, head of Ravenclaw House, and of course, a little person. Like, Warwick Davis is probably one of the best known little people actors. I mean, I guess up there as well is Peter Dinklage, who is probably best known for his role as Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones, but Warwick Davis has done a ton of roles like this. I mean, he's been in Star Wars. He had a whole TV series about his life called Life is Short, which was kind of like a semi-autobiographical comedy show with Ricky Gervais, which is great, by the way, but that's beside the point. Professor Flitwick as a character is really interesting in the Harry Potter movies because in the first two movies, he is like a really old man who is almost like elfish, or like, I don't know. He's just a really old man, and Warwick Davis is wearing a lot of prosthetics and makeup, and it's really strange. And I remember reading somewhere that J.K. Rowling felt really affronted by the design of Professor Flitwick because she just envisioned him as like a normal looking man who was just really short. In Prisoner of Azkaban and Beyond, the entire design of Professor Flitwick changed. Now he kind of was just a man that was short, and he kind of became the conductor of the Hogwarts choir, which was quite weird. I don't think it was actually officially confirmed that that character was Professor Flitwick until a few movies later, and I think Alfonso Cuarón, who was the director of Prisoner of Azkaban, said to Warwick Davis, "Hey guys, just really quickly, most people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. I'm covering all 90s, millennial, Gen Z, 2000s pop culture, nostalgic culture, and nerd culture, and if you've watched a bunch of my videos, it would mean so much to me if you could hit the subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and comment, and just let me know you're here. I'm trying to grow something, and every day I get a bunch of new subscribers, which is so amazing to see. So I'd genuinely love to have you on board and to have you watch a bunch of my videos. So yeah, thanks so much. Let's get back to the video. I think Alfonso Cuarón, who was the director of Prisoner of Azkaban, said to Warwick Davis, "We don't have a role for Professor Flitwick, but I have this role for a choir conductor that you could play if you wanted to." And so it kind of created this character that eventually was like retroactively like retrofitted into Professor Flitwick again. It's a really funny story about the Harry Potter movies. Warwick Davis also played Griphook, the goblin who helps Harry to his vault. So he kind of was across two kind of recurring roles in the movie series. Interestingly, the Harry Potter TV series has recast everyone. I mean, to be fair, a lot of the actors who played those original characters are now dead. Richard Harris and Michael Gambon as Dumbledore are both dead. Now John Lithgow is Dumbledore. Alan Rickman, of course, is dead as well. And Papa Rosito will be playing Snape. Maggie Smith as McGonagall is now dead. And that character will now be played by Jeanette McTeer. I mean, to be fair, even if someone like Maggie Smith was still alive, I seriously doubt that she would be cast again as Professor McGonagall. That's why I find the Warwick Davis casting really interesting, because there's kind of two things going on here. One is, do they give Professor Flitwick a completely new design again, making it like the third design for Professor Flitwick? Or will they just use Professor Flitwick's old design? I'm really not sure. The other thing is is there a debate to be had here about like the limited amount of roles for little people in acting, and that Warwick Davis is kind of like monopolizing this one? Interestingly, he is not playing Griphook in this series. Another little actor is portraying Griphook, and I think that is probably for the best, but it will be really interesting to me, and it will stand out a lot if Warwick Davis is the only actor from the original series who is reprising his role. It just seems like a really interesting decision when they probably could have given that role to another actor. It does add an air of familiarity to the series, which I don't mind, but I think originally, like, there were rumors of like, oh, Tom Felton might play Lucius Malfoy, you know, and that would be a cool little Easter egg connection, or Daniel Radcliffe could play James Potter as another cool little connection. But to be honest, like, I never really liked that. I never really wanted that to be the case. I didn't want this series to have any connection to the original movies, because I think the original movies are great and they're their own thing. And I didn't want there to be any kind of like beyond the fourth wall Easter eggs or meta references or gags like Tom Felton playing Lucius Malfoy. Like, I just think that distracts from what this series is supposed to be doing. And maybe Professor Flitwick isn't as major a character for it to matter that much, but I kind of was taken a little bit aback by it. I mean, clearly Warwick Davis is really involved in the Harry Potter fandom. I often see him like speaking at events or Harry Potter related locations and stuff like that. Similar to how like Oliver and James Phelps, the original Weasley twins, do a lot of stuff like that. And Tom Felton does as well. So clearly he has a love and a passion for Harry Potter, and I think that's fantastic. But to be honest, I'm still just a little bit on the fence about Warwick Davis returning. I love him as Professor Flitwick, but I kind of wanted to see something completely new in this series, and this isn't exactly that. Whew, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hey, let me know your thoughts. Do you think it's strange that Warwick Davis is returning? Do you want someone else to play Professor Flitwick? What do you think? Are they going to give Professor Flitwick a new design? Leave all your thoughts in the comments below. I really want to hear your thoughts on this. And if you've got nothing to comment, but you want to help me out in the algorithm with a comment anyway, because you're a good guy and you think I'm a good guy, just comment below Wingardium Leviosa. That is the iconic class that Professor Flitwick teaches in the first movie. While I've got you, I'm all over the internet doing dumb stuff that I think is cool. Check out all my links below. And if you like this video, YouTube thinks you might like this one, but if you just want to watch a bunch of Harry Potter related content, I would love for you to check out this playlist right here. It is full of it, and I will not stop you. That is pretty much it from me, though. My name has been Radio Mike. This has been The Inside of My Mind, and I will catch you later.